I spent a long time in the past trying to solve all my problems in my mind. Certain techniques like writing, certain ways of thinking, certain ways to apply breathing and meditation and mindfulness and tricks and all these things. And I think that humans have had it wrong for a long time. We've gone too much into the mind. Our thoughts were too loud, and I understand why people have why we've done this as a race, because our thoughts are so loud. They're so colorful. They're so interesting. But we missed for so long what generates all these thoughts, which is our emotions. The emotions that are trapped in the body generate our anxious, fearful, angry, worried thoughts. But we just couldn't see it. So we relied upon the mind. We looked at different ways we can pattern our thoughts, different ways we can avoid some thoughts and allow others. Maybe we can replace better thoughts with ones that aren't as good. Maybe we can become mindful of thoughts and then they will disappear. Maybe we can resolve our thoughts and stories by writing down what they are and then coming to logical conclusions about actions we need to take to solve these issues. But I can attest that none of it works. You can improve your life on the outside as much as you need to. You can get rich, you can have freedom, you can have the perfect relationship, you can have the perfect person, all the sex you want, all the validation, fame, friends, experiences, and you're still going to be the same. Maybe you'll have some kind of artificial sense of confidence from your success in the material realm, but you'll know that it's artificial. You will feel the same. Your thoughts will be largely the same. Your problems will be largely the same. Your emotions will be largely the same. The only way for us to change, to grow, is to look into the body. So this doesn't mean that the thoughts are pointless, because memories are an essential component of repression. It is the combination of consciousness, thoughts, and emotional energy that traps these sensations in the body. So it's our job to look at the body first. Where are the problematic areas? Where are the uncomfortable areas? We could even try to look at our thoughts first if we can't find this. What are our thoughts generally about? Where does this come from? Where does it feel like the thoughts are generated from the body? Do they come from the chest, the stomach, the neck, the throat, the mouth? This will suggest where the problematic areas are, where we store our emotions. Mostly, grief is in the stomach, anger is in the chest for me. But then when we find that there's an area that feels uncomfortable, we need to be with it. We have worked our whole lives to avoid this moment. We're scared. We're scared of how we feel. We're so scared of how we feel that we tricked ourselves into thinking that we can manipulate our thoughts to fix it. But we have to do the thing that we're most fearful of, which is lose control. Lose our repressive mechanisms that keep these emotions trapped in the body. The ways to do this, there isn't many. There isn't many that I've found that actually work. I find that the best starting place is awareness, just to be with the area that is problematic. Sit with it. It can take days, months, weeks, and just see what happens. One way to keep yourself focused is to find the thoughts that activate the area. I'm not good enough. No one likes me. I'm unhappy. Whatever these sentences are, it could be anything. They will trigger this area of the body. They feel like they're literally coming out of the area of the body, and that is actually what's happening. Keep repeating these thoughts in the head while keeping consciousness in the area from where they come out of. And keep doing this and see what happens. Sometimes we have to do things that are the opposite. Something that helped me was to provide these areas of the body as much acceptance and love as I could. And I know these are terms that are thrown around and they've gotten somewhat ridiculous, in my opinion. But I mean it in a very practical way. For me, love just means providing acceptance, space, awareness. So if you find an area of the body that won't shift, and some thoughts that come out of the area, try to give it love. Whatever the thoughts are, try to be with them in a loving way. Let's say your thoughts are that I'm not good enough. Visualize that you are the child who feels not good enough, which is what's trapped in your body. And visualize you as a stronger, more perfect, mature, wise adult who is unwaveringly loving. There is no end to your patience and love and acceptance of this little child. And just hold the child. Say things to it like, I'm sorry this happened to you. I will never leave you. You can feel however you want to feel, and I will stay with you as long as you want. If we want to get angry, let's get angry together. If we want to cry, let's cry together. Let's be scared as much as we need. And this is essentially giving you what you've never had. The problem with all our childhoods is that we weren't allowed to feel. We were encouraged not to because we have unconscious parents who didn't like to feel their own emotions. So then they stopped us feeling ours so they could avoid their own. And we learned pretty quickly that if we feel emotions, bad things happen. We feel bad, people get upset, etc., etc. What we needed was complete acceptance, to not be shamed and to be accepted and to be encouraged to feel our emotions in their fullest. But because we live in an unconscious world, no one can do that for us. The love we seek from our parents, the love we seek from our pasts, the love we seek from our friends, families, partners, the love we seek from money and power and bosses and management, team leaders and colleagues and positions and power and all that stuff. In everything we do, we seek that love. None of it can actually give it to us. It is impossible. The only option we have is to give it to ourselves. And to do that, I start by giving attention to the areas that you don't want to give attention to. If you feel uncomfortable placing awareness in an uncomfortable area of the body, then that's an indication of where you need to place your awareness. If it's scary, then you've got to go there. If just giving it awareness constantly, when I first started doing this, I just held a tension in that area of the body. I remember it was my chest. I did it all day, every day. It took weeks. Whatever I was doing, I was repeating the words, I'm not good enough. No one likes me, with some of mine. And I just held the tension in the chest, in the heart area, in the stomach area, all day, every day. I could not stop. Whatever I was doing, I wasn't really there. I was just holding this attention. Everything I would do would trigger these feelings, and I would hold this attention. Then, after a while, I had a massive release of grief. Very childish stuff coming out, very childish sentences and thoughts and experience, very intense grief. And it helped a lot. So I'm not saying this is exactly what will happen to you. Some people need to focus on anger more than their grief. Some people have a lot of fear. It's too complicated for me to say what everyone's experience will be. But the experience will be made available to you the more love that you give this area of the body. So start with awareness constantly. And then if nothing happens, then start with actively giving it love as much as you can. Be as patient to yourself, to your childish self, as you can possibly be. Give yourself everything that you ever needed. And then really that's the only way for us to heal. Thanks, guys.